Hey everybody, Matthew here from MiniWarGaming.com, and welcome to another Beat, Matt, Bat, Rep.
MiniWarGaming's Beat, Matt, Bat, Rep.
I've got Blake here all the way from Southern Carolina, or South Carolina? Southern Carolina?
South Carolina.
South Carolina, that's a place. It's not just that you're Southern in Carolina. Representing Safeties Off, which is a team that plays in tournaments, right?
Right.
Is that correct?
We host tournaments and we go to team events.
Awesome. That's awesome. And here for a fun narrative match of Eldari versus Tyranids.
New Eldar.
Yeah, the new Eldari Codex, which is pretty exciting. But we're still playing narrative, even though it's a new Codex. We'll have other battle reports showing off the new Eldari in more of a match play situation. But that is not what Beat Matt Bat Rep is about. We are about narrative. So let's just jump right into it. Let's take a look at the table we've set up, as well as the story that is being told. We are on an Eldar Exodite world that has unfortunately been overrun by High Fleet Nihilists. We are in the late stages of an invasion, and so therefore I have an assimilation brood represented by harvester units mainly, who are busy consuming the planet. And the Eldar are struggling against the shadow in the warp. And so you've got a special Wind Rider host of a lot of bikes ready to pounce because they're trying to push through this current consumption brood to be able to send out a signal and warn the nearby craft world that High Fleet Nihilus is coming before the shadow in the warp completely blots it out. Kind of scary, right?
Trouble.
To represent this, we have two objectives on the table, both at the edge of my deployment zone. And to win, it's actually quite simple. And it's just like the moment he does this, the game is over all the way to battle round 5. And that is that one of his units needs to perform an action on one of these objectives, and the action is completed at the end of my following turn. And so if he still controls the objective that he started the action on, he wins. He's managed to get the signal out. And that's all there is to it. It's really not more complicated than that. There's no secondaries, no agendas, just get the signal out.
Single-minded.
Yes, very single-minded. Now, this has been a long-running battle. The Eldar have been fighting these Tyranids in a losing battle on this planet for a very long time. And so we have battle scars on both sides. This is one thing I do like to do in my narrative battles sometimes, is roll battle scars. And so I've got a couple battle scars. My Pyrovores are single-minded. They have to shoot the nearest thing. They cannot choose their target. And then my other one is the Zoanthropes have been damaged so much that they have lost synapse. In other words, they do not have the synapse keyword anymore. They do not provide synapse. They can still receive synapse from other units, but they themselves lose that keyword. So they've been severed a little bit from the hive mind, or their ability to move the hive mind through. So I'm assuming that in the previous battle, one of yours managed to snipe one of them right through the brain, but it survived and was regenerated, but not quite back to its full functions. And then on your side, your, what's this dude called again?
Wraith Lord.
The Wraith Lord has been damaged, and he has -1 objective control and cannot receive any charge bonuses. And so the main charge bonus that everybody's familiar with is fights first. So he does not get to fight first when he charges in. And there's also a couple units of Wind Riders in reserve over here, but one of them is not able to do stratagems. So that's not that unit, is it?
That's this unit.
Oh, I thought we said that the unit that was in reserve can't do stratagems. So it's this unit. So
This unit can't do stratagems.
okay, so the other ones in reserve are fine.
Right.
Okay, so this unit that's on the table cannot do stratagems because they have been dishonored. So in this long fight, this Farseer is trying to make up for whatever happened in the past and is not able to use stratagems because of that. He's outside of the normal command chain. Maybe he will reclaim his honor this game. We will find out. And the attacker are the Eldar, or is the Eldar. And in this scenario, the Eldar, or the attacker, always goes first. So I have to weather the storm of a Alpha Strike, although I am able to regenerate my guys using my Assimilation Brood. So we'll see how that goes. We'll talk about upgrades that we have as they come into effect, or if they come into effect, rather than going all over them right now. A couple things that I will say. If you want to get your own objective markers and help support this show, you can go on to the link that's below to the Forge, and we actually sell 3D printable and 3D printed objective markers, scorecards, and other paraphernalia for Beat Matt Bat Rep. Also, I'm always looking for more people to come in and play, so go to miniwargaming.com/challenge if you're interested. And finally, do you want to join me and 100 other people at a grand narrative and bring Tyranids and form one gigantic high fleet nihilist? And we go to miniwargaming.com/nihilist. All these links below.
Wargamers, I have something exciting to tell you. We have a sponsor, which is Whaling Games. They are sponsoring this battle report. Now, the cool thing about that isn't the fact that they offer worldwide shipping, or they have massive stock quantities, or it's like you can get anything you can possibly imagine in their store because they have thousands of products. It's the fact that they're doing push-ups. Like, look at this. Like, isn't that nuts? They're trying to discover how many they can do and who can do the most on their team. And it's perfect because we are just moving. The timing couldn't be better. We have this miniature designed by Titan Forge, and it's designed to go on your hobby shelf and remind you to just move. Now available in the MiniWarGaming Forge. By getting this mini, you're making a commitment to yourself that you will just move more, do more, be more active. This one, only get if you want to make a commitment to yourself to move more. Otherwise, get Ravage Star, because Whaling Games is carrying Ravage Star in the UK, and that's also another fantastic news piece. Now, back to the battle report.
There, that's enough advertising. Let's jump into the game.
Okay.
No command phase stuff, right? You just get a command point.
Right.
And just straight to movement. Where are we starting?
We are going to move these guys over here.
And you do have your two, what are they called? The two battle-focused points?
Right.
Is that a new thing?
It is.
Because I actually haven't played against Eldar in 10th edition.
I don't have any, no more fate dice. We get battle focus, which is very movement oriented.
So basically you get 2 of them per round. They refresh, but they don't carry over, and they let you do extra abilities like move faster.
Right.
Okay.
And I get 2 tokens in a 1,000-point game.
Nice and simple.
Right.
And I will say, as a house rule, for fly, we ignore the whole you have to trace your path. We go back to earlier edition fly, where you just ignore terrain and models, and wherever you end up needs to be within your movement. So we got the Wind Riders here, who had already scouted forward thanks to their Farseer, are backing up. They're going to be careful with where they end up. Everybody just kind of popping out. You got long range on all your guns, so you're not ready to alpha strike and try to get on the objectives quite yet. You want to be a little more cautious.
Being a little more cautious. That's right. We are pretty fragile. These guys are going to get a battle focus. Just going to move them 2 extra inches.
So 16 instead of 14.
That's right. Whoops.
Just going to hop on over, hopefully getting into some line of sight. You take it back?
I take back the battle focus.
You're going to give it to this guy instead, maybe?
I think that Wraith Lord is going to need it. These guys still aren't going to be...
Not too much line of sight. We're basically declaring all the terrain as obscuring. That way you have nice line of sight blockers and different fields of vision.
Yeah, I'm just going to put these guys. They're not going to get where I want.
Wraith Lord is going to shimmy over.
Guy that's
Advancing the
back.
Guardians. Yeah. So they're repositioning out there. You've got the long range shooting, but you have to come to me, so that's one thing that's working in my favor.
Yeah.
But if you just kill me in like 3 turns, then you just casually move forward and do your action, right?
Right. I have to clear you off.
Now in the Wind Rider host detachment rule, at 1,000 points, you can bring in 1 unit from reserve on turn 1. So you're going to have 1 unit of strategic reserve Wind Riders. They're going to pop up on this side of the table, getting ready to do their thing. Lots of Wind Riders just showing up, getting ready to try to take out one of my flanks, or at least do a lot of damage to it.
Okay.
Shooting phase.
2 snipers shots going at the
Psychophage.
Psychophage and everything else into the warriors. Okay, these long rifles, 2s to hit on the Psychophage, 6s to wound.
Nothing. So switching up the targets for the other ones, he realized that he could see the Ripper Swarms and he wants to go after them instead. Long rifle on a 2. 2s to wound. That's a wound. It's 2 damage. I've got 6 up feeling the pain from the Psychophage. So only 1 wound.
Scatter lasers hitting on 3s.
2s to wound. 5s to save with cover. Oh my goodness, that's a good roll. And then a 6-up Feel No Pain. All right, so that does kill 1. So you finish off a Ripper Swarm. Next up we have these Wind Riders. What are they gonna do?
Shuriken cannons going into the warriors.
Now, did you want to spend a stratagem on them?
I do. They entered from reserves, so I can re-roll wounds.
And because they're shooting the nearest target, they also re-roll hit rolls.
Yes, they do.
Because we love re-rolls in 40K.
That's
so hitting on 3s. Re-rolling. Re-rolling. Okay, these were lethal. 3s to wound. Re-rolling. Look at that. AP1 ignoring cover, damage 2. Most likely just going to wipe out the squad. 5s to save. Unless I roll over the... Ooh, no. Yeah. So most likely dead, but we got some Feel No Pains. There was some tedious dice rolling, so I did it off camera because of the Feel No Pains, but this unit was wiped out single-handedly.
2 Bright Lances going into the Psychophage.
Hitting on 3s. Both hit. 3s to wound. 1 wounds. 6-up save. Not saved. D6 plus 2 damage. We got 5 damage. Got a 5-up Feel No Pain. Okay, so he takes 3 damage, bringing him down to 7. Then on this side of the table, we got some scatter lasers firing across, taking some pot shots into this Psychophage. Lots of shots, looking at 3s to hit. Okay, re-rolling the hit because it is the closest eligible. 5s to wound. We got 3-up save from cover, and then a 5-up Feel No Pain. All right, takes a damage. Down to 9 wounds. And then last squad, hopefully does not repeat what the other squad did. We'll be firing all the Shuriken cannons and everything at this squad of warriors. So Shuriken cannon sitting on 3s. We'll be re-rolling because I'm the closest eligible. 3s to wound.
These are the reroll hits.
Re-roll hits. Go ahead. Jeez. 3s to wound. No rerolls here, no stratagem on them. Okay, so AP1, ignore cover, 2 damage. At least I get a 6-up Feel No Pain from the Psychophage, but hopefully they don't roll as poorly as the other warriors. 5-up saves. Ah, they're cooked too. I'm gonna roll the Feel No Pains off camera. So not too good on the Feel No Pains, except for the last few, which kept my Prime alive with 1 wound. That's the end of Eldar turn 1. Tons of damage though. I lost 2 units of, both of my units of warriors and 1 of the winged primes. The other one's still alive and we'll be able to regenerate it a little bit. So I've got to do, well, I'm not gonna really be able to do any damage back this turn. It's more like I gotta hunker down and just wait for you to come to my side. So I'm not sure how this one's gonna work out, folks. Always looking for good crusade scenarios, and maybe with this one you need to have more shooting to be able to return fire. But we'll see, we'll see. Never despair, we'll see how it goes. So in my command phase, I do my Harvester regeneration, which basically I choose a Harvester unit, which is the Psychophage, Ripper Swarms, Pyrovores, and they choose a Tyranid unit within 6, and either you return 1 lost infantry model, which I can't do here because that unit's no longer there, or you heal it D3 plus 1. But you can only choose each unit once. So obviously the Psychophage will just choose himself. He'll heal D3 plus 1, he gets all his health back. The Ripper Swarms don't get to bring a Ripper Swarm back because they are not infantry. This Psychophage will heal his 1 wound, and then the Ripper Swarms will choose the Wing Prime, who will heal 3 of his lost wounds. It goes up to 4. My turn's going to be pretty straightforward. In the movement phase, the Psychophage is just going to, actually, well, the Ripper Swarms are going to hide as much as they can, getting ready to regenerate whatever they can. And, this is tough because you can move like 14 inches and then just unload so much power. So these guys almost have to just stay put and wait for you to try to get to the objective. And so we're going to tuck these guys even further forward. This is where I'm worried about the scenario. And it might just be my build, not the scenario, that since I didn't do much of a shooting army, that I have to basically hunker down and do nothing. The Psychophage will advance 8 plus 1. Ooh. I'm going to do the unthinkable and re-roll in advance because I need to get him out of line of sight. 4, that's better. So I've already measured the 1, because the 1 got him to here, which is not good enough. So I'll pop him out over here, and hopefully that keeps him out of danger. The wing prime is just going to pop up here, and then these zoanthropes are going to pop out so they can see those wind riders, or wind runners, whatever they're called. And then for my only shooting attack, the zoanthropes are going to fire their blast witchfire into the wind riders over there. Do you have any stratagems you want to use? Oh wait, they can't use stratagems. That's their battle scar.
Darn.
Yeah, you're about to put a 4-up invuln on them, and I say no! They are marked for shame. They've been ashamed. So we got 3d3 plus 3 shots. Oh, that's good and solid. Nice and simple. We're hitting on 3s, wounding on 3s. 3s to hit. Wounded on 3s. Oh, that's too bad. So you got 4 6-up saves. Oh, you made 2. I could still kill 2 of them. They're d3 damage apiece, and you're 2 wounds. So here's the first one. Oh, I just killed 1. What on earth? Okay, woo! Look at that. Now part of your detachment rules is that you can take a unit and put it in reserve at the end of each turn. So go ahead and grab those guys who destroyed all my warriors, and they're going to disappear. Not much in your command phase, except to get some command points. And then we just go straight to movement. First movement. I pop over here, get a little closer to my forces, trying to draw some line of sight. You got your Wraith Lord advancing forward, getting ever closer, very dangerous. More Windrunners moving forward, getting a little aggressive. Guardians advancing and grabbing some cover. Coming to this side, we got Windrunners repositioning. Trying to draw some line of sight this direction. Now into reserves, we got a unit of bikes just popping out from strategic reserve on this flank. And then using the stratagem to deep strike the other bikes that were removed at the end of my turn, rather than just strategic reserves. So they've got some good line of sight to punk the guys that are trying to hide. Shooting phase, we got the Windrunners with shuriken cannons over here, firing back at the zoanthropes. Hitting on 3s, re-rolling. Re-rolling. 3s to wound. We've got a 4-up invuln. Oh, that's a better roll. Okay, so 4 get through, they're 2 damage a pop, right? And so we're looking at 4 damage with a 6-up feel no pain. Oh, that one survives. So we'll grab 1 more of these, 6-up feel no pain. And you just barely kill him, and then the next one takes 2 wounds. So kills 1, injures another one. Next up, we have some more bikes. They're going to fire at the Psychophage. I'm going to pop my strat. That gives him a 4-up feel no pain because he is on an objective. Starting with the long rifles, in on 2s. 6s to wound. And now they can make everybody else ignore cover against him. And now we have their scatter lasers, which will not ignore cover. Hitting on 3s, sustained. 5s to wound. 3-up saves and cover. He'll ignore the cover next turn with a 4-up feel no pain. 1 wound. Down to 9. And then we got a bunch of scatter lasers from these Windrunners into the same Psychophage. Hitting on 3s. Re-rolling though, right? Because the closest eligible?
Yes.
Re-roll. 5s to wound. Ignoring cover, so 4-up saves. With a 4-up feel no pain. So 2 wounds get through. Down to 7.
Out of that.
Now your deep strikers are going to spend the command point to give them re-roll wound rolls because they just deep struck in. Who's the target? Psychophage?
Psychophage.
Okay. 3s to hit re-rolling and lethal. Re-rolling. Jeez, that is a lot of lethal. 5s to wound re-rolling. Re-roll those 3. Wow, your strat got you 1 more wound. 5-up save. They ignore cover. These are 2 damage each, so I'm going to do this twice. So 5-up feel no pain. Here's the first one, and he's got 2 wounds left. And the second one, he's dead. I'm going to spend a command point because you just killed a harvester unit, and everybody's really angry at you. So for the rest of the game, all of my units get +1 to wound against that specific unit. Deadly Demise, no. So he's dead.
Ripper Swarms.
Then a bunch of scatter lasers into the 2 Ripper Swarms. Hitting on 3s, re-rolling because they're the closest, and sustained. Re-rolling. 2s to wound. 6 up saves, they're all dead. You killed the Ripper Swarms. And that is the end of your shooting phase because everything else is hiding. Still pretty devastating, killed a Psychophage, a couple Ripper Swarms, and a Zoanthrope. Thankfully the Zoanthropes weathered that storm a little better. In my command phase, I'm going to do some regenerations from Harvesters. I'll have the Ripper Swarms choose the Zoanthropes, and we'll return one of them because they're infantry. And then the Psychophage will choose himself and heal D3 plus 1. And gets 2, so he's back up to 9. And it's just the 2 Harvesters over here. We got a Harvester right here as well, but there's nothing nearby to do anything. Don't think there's any way I can win this, but I can still get some revenge against the unit that killed a Harvester. Zoanthropes move back a bit so they can see the Windrunners. I'm aware that they have a strat, correct? They can move after I shoot them.
Battle Focus.
Or Battle Focus, so I gotta be careful of that. Psychophage just barely in range to shoot them, so he'll probably not get to shoot. And then the Winged Tyranid Prime is like, hey, I gotta do something, so I'm gonna pop out here. And then the Gene Stealers have moved over in about a 9 or 8 inch charge range of those guys. And then I advance the Pyrovores out. Because I can't sit back forever, I gotta do something. So in the shooting phase, the Zoanthropes will target them and open fire. You're gonna spend your 1 command point to give them a 4-up invuln? Why not, right?
Yeah, ought to.
So it'll be D3 plus 1 shots each. They are stealth, so I'm hitting them on 4s. And thanks to my stratagem from before, I get +1 to wound them. So I'm wounding them on 2s. 4 wounds. 4-up invulns. Why don't you reroll that 1 cock die? The other 3 have succeeded though. And hey, 1 gets through. Maybe I kill a guy? D3 damage? I do! I kill 1. Wow, lucky me. Are you gonna battle focus and move D6 plus 1?
In fact, I am.
And they're gonna move 6 inches. I'm guessing as far away as possible. Well, we can still try a charge, but we'll see if we get there. They end up back there, out of range of my flamer. So that is all my shooting. I'm gonna declare a charge from these Gene Stealers into the lead unit of Windrunners. And it is an 8-inch charge. Hopefully to make it, I'll use a command point if I have to. 8, we made it. They have made that charge. And then the Prime is going to declare a charge into those Windrunners. It's a 9-inch charge. Hopefully not needing a command point. 8. So we're going to spend a command point and re-roll that. Nope, it's worse. Into the fight phase, I am going to pile in and tag the other unit as well. We're going to try to do some damage. We're going to try to be extra cheeky and split our attacks. We're going to put these 3 Gene Stealers into the Windrunners and the 2 Gene Stealers in the Broodlord into, I don't know what they're called. What are the guys in the back?
Shroud Runners.
Shroud Runners. So we'll start with the guys into the Windrunners, hitting on 2s, re-rolling 1s, because why not? Wounding on 3s, devastating because the Broodlord is there. No re-rolls though. Only 1 devastating. 7 6-up invulns. You make 1 of them, so that's 6 wounds go through plus the devastating. So that kills them all. They're only 2 wounds each, right?
That's true.
Hey, look at that. I did damage! Yay! Now let's see if we can hurt these Shroud Runners. So we've got the 2 Gene Stealers first, hitting on 2s, re-rolling 1s, because we want a 100% success rate. And these are still toughness 4, so we're looking at 3s to wound with devastating. That's a lot of devastating. Oh, it turns out devastating didn't matter. My AP goes right through. So we just got 7 wounds in total. Now they're 3 wounds apiece, right?
Yes.
So it kills 2, injures the next. The Broodlord should be able to finish them off. The Broodlord has 5 more attacks hitting on 2s. He doesn't get to reroll. He's the king of the Gene Stealers, but why would he reroll? And then he's wounding on your toughness 4, right? So he's actually wounding on 2s now because I gave him an enhancement that gives him +1 strength. Oh, and we actually killed a unit. So for the rest of the game, I have +1 attacks. That probably won't matter. But it also gives him +1 strength, plus his synapse, brings him up to strength 8. So 2s to wound, devastating. And there we go, he's dead. So yeah, so watch out. They're coming for you. I think I should have just brought Gene Stealers. Would have been a more interesting game. So they are now +1 attacks for the rest of the game because of their enhancement. And that is the end of Tyranids Turn 2 and Battle Round 2. I got to kill something, so I'm happy about that. Shows how fragile the Eldar really are. And so if there was just a bit more shooting on my side, I think it would have been maybe a more interesting game? I don't know. What do you guys think in the comments? Let me know. Let's go to Turn 3.
All right.
Sorry, we forgot at the end of my turn, these guys are going to pop back into reserve, as is their right. Guardians are going to pop on out. They're going to do an advance. All their weapons are assault. So they're going to come out here and try to deal with these Gene Stealers. Your Wraith Lord is not going to charge the Gene Stealers, it looks like. Just getting in line for a couple Bright Lance shots. You know, Windrunners with Shuriken cannons. The dishonored ones have popped out. Get ready to take care of this winged prime. Windrunners are then going to advance and hide behind this tree. And finally some Windrunners outflanking the Pyrovores. And then coming in from strategic reserves, it's turn 3 now, so he's able to pop into any table edge, more than 9 inches away, of course. We have our friendly Shurikens. And then he puts the battle focus on them, so I cannot overwatch, which I was about to do.
Welcome to the new Eldar.
Yay! It's all right. Shooting phase, starting with these Windrunners right here, targeting the Pyrovores. Hitting on 3s, re-rolling. Closest eligible. Re-roll. 5s to wound. 9 wounds get through. 2 up save with, oh wait, no, they're 3 up save base, so cover does nothing with AP nothing. So 3s, wow, geez. Sorry, I forgot to mention, I spent 2 command points to give them a 5 up feel no pain because they're a harvester unit. And so 3 wounds get through. And then the next Windrunners with the Shuriken cannons firing. And they're going to re-roll wound rolls as well, thanks to a stratagem. So 3s to hit, re-rolling. Re-rolling. Jeez, it's a lot of lethal. 4s to wound, re-rolling. 4s to save. So I got a 5 up feel no pain. I got 6 through for 2 damage apiece. So here's the first one to kill the one guy. Well, he's alive. Here's the next one to kill that guy. And now he's dead. And then you're going to need 3 more to kill another guy, because they're 5 wounds each. And he's alive with 1 wound, and he's dead. So 2 of them die. And then a flamer from the Warlock.
Yes.
How many shots?
D6.
So 3. 5s to wound, re-rolling. And 0 wounds. We've got our Wraith Lord firing his Flamers and Bright Lance into the Gene Stealers.
We'll go with Flamers.
How many shots? 8 auto hits. 4s to wound. 5 up invuln. He kills 1.5. There's 1 wound left on one of them, and then he's got his Bright Lances. 2 shots. Hitting on 3s.
They're
Hit on 4s. Hit on 4s. So 1 hit and 1 wound. 5 up invuln. Not saved.
Right.
And it kills the injured Gene Stealer.
They're actually supposed to be Storm Guardians.
Storm Guardians into the Gene Stealers. Starting with the Flamers, so 7 auto hits. 4s to wound. 5 up invuln. So you kill another 1.5. We got the pistols hitting on 3s. 4s to wound. So 4 more wounds. 5 up invulns on 3. Oh, and then a 4 up invuln on the Broodlord. So killed all the Gene Stealers. And then the fusion guns hitting on 3s. 3s to wound. 1 wound. 4 up invuln. Saved. Windrunners over here.
And
What are we gonna do?
the Warlock and 2 are going into here. I'm going to take 3. Get
To the
over to the
Psychophage.
Psychophage.
Okay. Shuriken cannons into the winged Tyranid Prime, and they will be re-rolling because he's the nearest eligible target. 3s to wound. So we got 5 wounds. 5 up save. Hey, we got 3 of them. So you do 4 damage, which is exactly how many wounds I have left, but the Psychophage gives him a 6-up feel no pain. He's dead. The Flamer doesn't get to fire. Oh boy. And then 3 Shuriken guys into the Psychophage, hitting on 3s, not re-rolling. 5s to wound. So you got 2 wounds in total with the lethal. You got a 4-up save against that. No, 5-up save, so 1 gets through. 2 damage, 5-up feel no pain. Both get through. He's down to 7 wounds. That's all your shooting. There's no other shenanigans, no charging. So let's go to Tyranids turn 3. My command phase, the Pyrovore will regenerate himself and bring back an infantry model. So the Pyrovore. Psychophage will regenerate himself, D3 plus 1. Gets all his wounds back. And the Ripper Swarms will regenerate the Zoanthropes, it's minimum 2, so it'll heal him. Okay, so movement's going to be pretty straightforward. The Pyrovores are going to waddle their way back. And then I've already measured all this out, that's why I'm just kind of doing everything. So I already know this is a 10-inch charge if I decide to go that way, or a 5-inch if I go that way. And then this Psychophage is just going to pop up a little bit. Unfortunately, my slow down, my Battle Scar and my Zoanthropes is that they're -1 move and they cannot advance, so they're not going to be able to shoot anything this turn. So they're just going to tuck up onto that objective and stay there with the Ripper Swarms. And do you want to overwatch here into the Pyrovores or into the Broodlord?
I think I got a better chance here.
Okay. Change your mind, you're going after the Pyrovores?
Yes.
Hitting on 6s, re-rolling because it's your closest target. So we got 1 6 so far. And these are lethal too, so really you're just looking for 6 re-rolled. Nice and simple. Well, there we go. 4 more. So -1, 2 damage, ignore cover. So 4-up saves. Oh. Okay, so that kills one of them and injures the next down to 1 wound.
And
So he's down, and then does have deadly demise. Does not blow up. Oh shoot, you got a flamer too. How many auto hits? 4. 5s to wound. 1 wound. Can I save it on a 3+? I'm alive. And then he's got a Shuriken Catapult hitting on 6s. And it misses. Shooting, Pyrovore. The singular Pyrovore will fire at the Windrunners right in front of him. D6 plus 1.
4-up invuln.
4-up invuln. 6-up, or 6 plus 1 auto hits. 3s to wound twin linked. So re-rolling that 1. Okay, 6 wounds. 4-up invuln. They're only 1 damage each. You could lose a guy here. Maybe 2. Oh, look, 1. Whew! I take it back. Shooting is totally ineffective against these guys. Psychophage on this side is going to flamer these Windrunners. D6 shots. We got 1, strength 6, so 3s to wound. 0 wounds. That's all my shooting. So we're going to try for a 10-inch charge from this Broodlord into them. He could easily charge the Wraith Lord, but I don't think that's really worth it. Probably die from him. So we got a 10-inch charge. I do got 2 command points for a reroll, but tell me I don't need them. That's an 8. That's a good healthy charge, but it doesn't matter. It's too bad you can't choose just to reroll one of the dice. And nope. Pyrovore will still go in, even though he sucks. Maybe I'll just lock him in combat. You've got a fall back and shoot strategy, don't you?
Yes.
Awesome. Okay.
I'm still Eldar.
This is Psychophage. He'll charge 8 inches, which is not enough. He needed a 9-inch charge to get that way. Well, I got my crappy close combat attacks hitting on 4s. All right, we're done. Hit me back.
Okay.
And see if you can take 1 wound off of this Pyrovore.
Monster,
Nope.
not infantry.
No, he's infantry.
Okay. Hitting
Start with the Warlock hitting on.
3s.
Nice. Very good. And for some reason, your Windrunners are 3 attacks each in close combat, hitting on 3s.
Strength 3.
So 6s to wound. I've only got 1 wound left, though. I survive. That's unfortunately my turn. I thought I was going to do more damage than that. I managed to kill 1 Windrunner in total. And your turn, you're just going to pop onto that objective. Probably send out the signal this turn, as long as you can kill the Broodlord and the Pyrovore. Spend a command point to fall back and shoot with these Windrunners.
Right.
Pop them back an inch. Can you put your thing on them so I can't overwatch them? Or is that only when they come in from reserve?
Yes.
That's a good idea.
In fact, I'm gonna
If you do that in that order, I can't overwatch the other guys because you move them first, right?
Right.
And then the Wraith Lord. And pretty much everything else doesn't matter because I have no way to catch up to you. So these guys are going to start the action to send out the signal. And as long as you kill this 1 wound Pyrovore and this Broodlord, then you win. Think you can pull that off, Blake?
It's all about the dice.
So you got 2 flamers and then the bright lance shots into the Broodlord. So 2 flamers first. We got 9 hits. 5s to wound. So we got 2 wounds.
Okay,
4 up Embalm. I take 2 wounds already. I've got 4 left, but you got those 2 bright lances hitting on 3s at this point because you're close enough to the Warlock.
I wasn't. Okay.
3s to hit. 1 hit, and then 3s to wound. Did you want a command point and reroll that?
That's worth it, yes.
Yeah, let's do that. Go ahead, reroll. That's a wound. 4 up Invuln. Oh, I'm alive. And then these guys, how are they going to shoot? I've only got 1 wound left on the Pyrovore, and that Broodlord is a bigger menace.
These 2, these 2?
You got the underslung cannon too, remember?
Right. So this going in there.
And the other 3 into the Broodlord?
3 into there.
Shooting into the Broodlord first, hitting on 3s, lethal. No rerolls though. Oh, jeez, you didn't need them. 3s to wound. 4 up Invulns, 2 damage each. Broodlord is dead. Didn't even need that Wraith Lord. And now the shots into the Pyrovore. Starting with the Shuriken Cannon, hitting on 3s lethal. And they would have been rerolling if they needed to. 5s to wound. That's a wound at -1, ignore cover. 4 up, or he's dead. And he's dead. Does he blow up out of spite? No, no spite. And he's gone.
Hey there everybody, Josh and myself recorded something special for our game of 10th edition Warhammer 40k today in the MiniWarGaming Vault. It is a 1500 point game using a mission from about 20 years ago. Any veterans will be very familiar with it. It's a bunker assault. Josh is playing an Anvil Siege Force, his Imperial Fists, defending several bunkers against a relentless Death Guard assault in towards them. And uses old kill points, he uses the bunkers as objectives. And if you want to check out this more asymmetrical game, all you have to do is click on the link in the description down below to at least sign up for a 7-day free trial if you're not already a Vault member. And after those 7 days, you can decide to stick around or not. You can cancel, no charge at all. And you can kind of check out and binge all the rest of the content we have in the Vault. There is quite a numerous amount at this point. Thanks again for checking out this video, everyone, and hopefully enjoy it and leave some feedback down below.
And with that, I believe we can call it. I don't think you'll kill a Psychophage, but you could, but in the end, it doesn't matter because I have no way to get you off this objective. So at the end of my turn 4, you would have got the signal out. Good job, Blake. So,
Thank you. Thank you.
It's interesting because playing narrative has its drawbacks as well, which is that you don't know exactly how things are going to work out. When you play match play over and over again, you know what to expect, right? You know how to build lists for it and what to expect.
When this started happening, I heard the voices of my teammates saying, "Go," or
hide, run away and hide.
No, say, "Don't blow it, Blake."
Don't blow it. Yeah, yeah. Honestly, like if I could just re-rack and do this one again. I would just swap out half of my close combat for some more shooting. Because now that I see just how squishy your guys are, if I could have just whittled you down over the turns, there would have been a bit more of an interesting match.
Right.
The Gene Stealers, of course, being the VIPs, actually being the only one to really kill anything.
The new codex is we move better, but we die easier.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's some weird stat things. And I know that's not from the codex. But like 3 attacks in close combat with the Windrunners, hitting on 3s. But they're only strength 3, so they don't do anything.
Right.
And I'm just like, why? Why is it 3? It should be 1 attack, hitting on 4s. Because, you know, they're shooters, not close combat. I guess they're elves, so you could still have them hit on 3s. Why not, right?
I don't even know how you attack with two hands on the handlebars.
Well, maybe it's supposed to represent the bike running you over. But then why is it only strength 3? Because that would have been kind of cool. They could say, like, on the charge, like they give them, like, lance or something to represent that you're just running into people.
Right.
That would have been maybe more flavorful. I don't know if they need it because they're very good at shooting. So obviously the Windrunners are very, very fragile, but they're really good at hit and run tactics.
We had a 3-up save, and they moved it to a 4-up.
Yeah, I think that's fair, to be honest.
And they gave us a 6-up invul to compensate, I suppose.
Does that compensate, though? 1 less save? Because most things don't have high AP.
Right.
And so for the most part, you're not getting to that 6-up.
Right.
You'd have to be hit by -3 AP out in the open.
Right.
For that invuln to matter.
If you had any longer range, we would have been sticking to cover
Yeah.
quite a bit more.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, that's the mistake when I built my list. I was building to the theme of the Annihilation swarm, which is, the Psychophages and the Pyrovores and the Ripper swarms, and then I just filled it out. And I wanted to fill it out with things I could really benefit from that, which is what the Warriors can normally do.
This hurts you.
The Zoanthropes?
Not being able to advance them, get them where you needed to.
Yeah, rolling a bad battle scar for them. But that's the game. That's why I like that, because it changes how you think about what you're bringing, because you just don't know exactly what the game's going to throw at you. So that part I'm actually fine with. I could have deployed them differently, knowing that. I could have stuck them more in the middle, like right here, let them pop out and have more free reign to fire wherever they want. They're pretty survivable too, especially if only one survives, I can bring them back with the harvester stuff. And there's other stratagems I would have had access to. As you kill my stuff, I can bring other stuff back, or as I kill your stuff, I can bring stuff back too. So, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
Still, I think I would like to eventually try this scenario again, but understanding the scenario now, make sure that the terrain is set up in a way that really suits it, as well as, like, I would probably have one of them totally behind terrain so that you can only get to it by close combat, and then the other one be a little more open to shooting. And so then you have to decide, do I want to go for the one that's open, but then I'm open to it as well, or do I go to the one that's more in cover and advance up from cover to cover? Mm-hmm. It would be interesting to set a table up like that, because how you set the table up for narrative stuff is just as important as choosing a scenario and building your list as well. Especially because in a game like 40k, which is so killy, even at 1,000 points, that you have to consider being able to conceal guys along the way. But it's all good. Thank you so much, Blake, for coming in.
Enjoyed it.
And safety's off. Good luck in all your future team tournaments and team events.
Right.
In South Carolina. Southern Carolina, too.
We're actually in northern South Carolina.
You're in northern Southern Carolina?
Right. So
North Southern Carolina.
If you're around Greenville, we run events, do some charity events. Look us up.
Definitely. And if you want to come in for more Beatmap Batrep or other battle reports here, go to miniwargaming.com/challenge. Thanks for watching. Happy wargaming.
Happy wargaming.